Live from the Moody Campus Radio Studios in Chicago, Illinois, this is The Letter M. The Letter M. The Letter M. The Letter M with Van Ferro and Andrew Shroyer. And good evening. Welcome to The Letter M. This is Van Ferro.
And I'm Andrew Shroyer.
And yes, what are we doing for tonight?
We're doing reality TV shows.
Oh, wow. Did we watch that here at Moody?
Well, yeah, absolutely we watch it.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Is that like something that a regular Christian should like participate in? I don't know.
Well, if you know, you're gonna find out.
I'm watching it, so like I don't really care.
It is,
yeah.
If you
yeah. Well, I mean, the nice thing about the letter M is we actually tackle things wherein it's something that's relevant to the world, and it's something that we have to make relevant for the people here at Moody as well. So again. If you would like to be involved with our conversation today about reality TV shows, it could be anything. What's your favorite reality TV show? Favorite reality TV character? Or anything, basically, about reality TV. You could let us know on our Facebook page at theletterm.mcr or on our Twitter page. We have a Twitter handle. Yeah, at theletterm on MCR. Yeah, I'm getting so techie. Yeah.
Wow.
So techie. Yeah. Cheat us out.
You're becoming too mainstream.
No, I am not becoming too mainstream. Gosh, it's like, yeah, kill me if I become too mainstream. Like, seriously. Like, yeah. So, anyways, do you want to greet somebody? Shout out.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my grandmother, Dorothy. She's our faithful listener.
Yes, thank you very much, Grandma Kim.
Yeah, and Misty, my Aunt Misty, who gave us the idea of reality TV shows.
Yes,
tonight.
This is actually her suggestion. So we've gotten this a suggestion from one of our listeners from Connellsville, Pennsylvania. So she loves reality TV shows. She also likes Vine, anyway. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so does my mom. I want to give a shout out to my mom.
Brandy.
Yeah, I texted her earlier. At least I think I did. I meant to. I don't know.
Oh, hashtag boy problems. Or like college boy problems, never mind. Yeah. You get what I mean. Yeah. Okay. So you texted your mom.
Yeah,
okay.
She always loves reality TV shows. We used to watch them all the time together. So.
Mm-hmm. And what were the reality TV shows that you and your mom used to watch before?
The Real World.
The Real World, oh my gosh. MTV's longest running reality TV show. What else?
And Road Rules, which just kind of went along with it.
Road Rules? I've never heard of that.
It was the same one because they had like a gauntlet challenge. No, it was similar, but it was a different show. They had it on MTV also because they had like an MTV like the gauntlet thing where it was like a competition between the Real World and Road Rules.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean, we will be talking more about that. So we'd also like to give a shout out to Andrew Vang. Andrew Vang has specifically requested me to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're supposed to give me a shout out. So yes, Andrew Vang, thank you very much for listening. I think my mother is also listening. She just called me like 2 minutes before the show started. So mother, thank you very much for listening. Even though I actually asked her once, like, what do you think of the show? And she's like, well, I don't quite understand what you're saying because like she's not used to me speaking, English like rapid fire or something. So yeah, we're eventually going to work with a translator to translate the letter M in different languages.
Or I will just translate it.
You will just speak in tongues.
Yeah, and everybody else will be able to interpret it miraculously.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And it's a really awesome show for tonight. So I think let's go on a music break. When we come back, it's Reality TV Night only here on The Letter M. So welcome back to Reality TV Night. So again, if you're just joining us right now, we are talking about reality TV shows. So these are shows that...
I thought we were talking about... Never mind.
What are we supposed to talk about? Why am I being kept under the dark under my own radio show? Okay, so anyways, so we are talking about Reality TV Night. If you would like to share to us what's your favorite reality TV show, or who's your favorite reality TV character, or anything about reality TVs that you like, which one?
No, I'm saying Misty.
Misty, yes. You can let us know on our Facebook page at theletterm.mcr, or you can go to our Twitter page at theletterm on MCR. So before we go ahead with reality TV, so we'd like to get all of your guys' like feedback first. So we're just going to let you know about the different shows that are available at MCR right now. So again, we are not the only cool show that's running in MCR right now. So after spring break, actually, after last, unfortunately, we're not the only cool show. I know, right? It's like we're like the highest rated, but we're not the only cool show. So anyway, so after spring break, yes, after spring break, there have been like 5 or 6 new shows. And Andrew, what are some of the shows that we have here at MCR that are as cool as the letter M?
All right. Well, on Monday nights, directly after us, from 10 to 11 p.m., we have the Ed Rock Show, who's hosted by Jacob Pelling. Do you know him? Oh,
Jacob Pelling. Yeah, I saw him on the brochure for Bachelor Auction. Yeah, because I'm trying to raise money for SMF, and we're going to get one of our sisters to date one of these people. So that way we could give money to SMF and help the propagation of the gospel.
Okay.
So yeah, so Jacob Pelling, right? Yeah, he's from Dryer too. Yeah.
As long as it is.
Yeah. I'm dating him for the Bachelor Auction would help, bring Bibles to people who actually need them. So yeah, date away.
Okay, as long as it is. I'm not going to say anything more.
Okay. Okay.
Vicky Garcia hosts a show Tuesdays 4 to 5. It's called Connect to 2. It's an all Spanish show, from my understanding.
Yes, and Vicky is a personal friend of ours.
Yeah.
So yeah. I actually sat by her during the com meeting, and she was talking to me about the show, and she's so excited about it.
Yes, I know, and she's just a really cool person. So tune into her show Tuesday nights from 10 to 11. Retro Affairs, hosted by Josh. Is it Siri?
Josh Siri. Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's a cool show. That's a new one, I think, or returning.
That is a new one.
New one?
Yeah,
okay.
Josh Siri. Yeah, Josh Siri is one of the actors that's usually present in shows for moody drama.
Yes.
Pretty much, so
Wednesday nights from 9 to 10. Jacob Rossitano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hosts the World of Verts from 9 to 10.
Is he like related to Frank Rossitano from like some TV show?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
From 10 p.m. to midnight on Wednesday nights, Recon is on, hosted by Andy Decker and John Holst.
Yeah, that is a returning show, actually. Recon was a show with MCR last year. Actually, they took a break last semester, and now they're coming back. So welcome back.
They were there my first semester. Woo! Interfaith Forum from 8 to 10 on Thursdays, hosted by Cole Burgett. I don't... Throwdown from 10 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
But hosted by Noah Throw and James Arenholz.
Yes. James Arenholz is also being auctioned off for a Bachelor Auction, so yeah.
So guys, just look these people up, ladies, look these people up and see how much, you're
how much you're willing to shell.
Yeah, how much money you're going to be throwing out. Talk to your sisters and...
Wow, I think that's like divine intervention
for all. God's excited for this auction.
Okay.
Okay. This is a very personal one for me. Friday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Nick Lancy and my own roommate Elias Alvial hosts The Jew and the Gentile.
Oh my gosh, I was listening to them like last week during Elias's birthday. Oh gosh, that show, funny. Like, they're like the Jewish and Gentile version of our show.
Yes.
If there's...
if that can be done, I don't know.
So, yeah, pretty much.
Friday nights from 10 to 11, Sandy Dalton and Hannah Leckman host Storybox, which I think is just... an hour of a story time, pretty much. She reads a story and
with feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and so, if you want to end your week with a nice bedtime story, which I'm sure as college students are not going to bed at 11, but on Friday nights. But
yeah, Friday nights. Oh yeah, we're out to party pretty much. So.
Maybe
at least it's just us. We're out to party.
Maybe it's like. Maybe Caleb, because he goes to bed at like 6.
Caleb goes to bed like Caleb Sinclair, who's currently listening right now. He goes to bed early. Yeah, there's
He'll probably be in bed when I get back.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like sick or if he's just trying to keep his like ripped body, together or something.
Probably that one.
Yeah, probably that one. Yeah.
We have some podcasts too that are on iTunes, and also they go on Moody Campus Radio. So throughout the week, so In But Not Of by David McKay and Trevor Jameson.
That's like our holier version.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Den, hosted by Shane Dickinson and Glenn Roberts, and last and certainly not
the least, and we forgot to give her a shout out to that.
No. This is
a shout out.
Out.
Yeah.
Face to Face, hosted by
who's hosting Face to Face?
Adelina Gilia. As what everybody else has said. Gilia.
Who's Adelina Gilia?
Well, she is the most amazing, stupendous,
ravishing.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't. The adjectives are just running out right now of our program director.
Like beautiful is an understatement.
Yes.
Yeah. She's that kind of, And with Face to Face, Adelina interviews different people here at Moody, so professors and staff, and they basically share their stories here at Moody. So it's kind of like, it's actually a good show. She's interviewed a lot of people. She's interviewed Kelly Worrell, all of these like Moody royalty and stuff. So it's a really good show. So all of them are on podcast. So you can look them up on iTunes or on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And just before we get started with our reality TV show night, we have some liners to give to you as well.
Yes, actually, there's a lot of things that are happening at Moody. As you all know, it's just like 7 more weeks before classes
summer.
End. Yeah, before summer. Yeah, so here are some of the things that are happening, and just make sure that you listen to this because this might actually help out with your fall semester if you're coming back for the fall. So, first announcement that we have is the PCM Ministry Fair. Looking to change your PCM for next fall? Come to the PCM.
I am now.
Oh my god. Come to the PCM Ministry Fair and find one that works for you. It takes place Thursday, April 3rd in the Alumni Student Center 2 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you're looking to change your PCM, just go to the Ministry Fair. Okay, another one. Are you interested in welcoming new students next year? So that means, next fall. Sigma Phi is taking applications right now. So if you don't know what Sigma Phi is this organization where they hire, they pay students actually, to basically assist new Moody students in like getting situated, doing orientations and all that. So it's a really fun job. Robert, my roommate, is going to be... Oh, no, not Robert. Robert's friend, Ben Picari, was in Sigma Phi, and he really enjoyed the experience. So, guys, Sigma Phi is taking applications now. Student programs in ASE 2, so that's the Office of Student Programs, has applications and information. So, just head to the Student Programs office and see if it's a fit for you. Also, if you're interested in doing student leadership, so if you want to be like the leader for like RACO, or
June a Gentile.
Or like STUCO, Student Council, or SMF, Student Mission Fellowship. Yes, this is your opportunity. You are invited to an informational meeting on Tuesday, April 8th at 9 p.m. in Suite 233. And at that meeting, you will have the opportunity to talk with RACO, so that's the Resident Activities Council, SMF, and STUCO concerning their representative goals and job descriptions. So if you feel led that, like I have to lead this or I have to be involved in this, you can go to that meeting. And our last announcement is... Wow, this is actually pretty awesome. I guess there's something exciting happening at Lifeway. So meet and greet the Mercy Me Band for the release of their new CD entitled Welcome to the New on April 8th between 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. in Lifeway. So Mercy Me is going to be at their own Lifeway bookstore. So that's amazing. Pretty much. So, again, those events are going to be posted all over campus, but you heard it here first at the letter M. So, Andrew... It's reality TV night.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, again, if you would like to be involved with our conversation, you can let us know on our Facebook page at the letter M.MCR or on our Twitter page at the letter M on MCR. So,
yes.
Andrew, take it away.
All right. So, what is a reality TV show? And I just want to give you a quick, brief overview of what we're talking about when we say reality TV.
Because there are different definitions of what a reality TV show is, right?
Yes. Yeah. And also there are there are subgenres within reality TV. So, yeah. But reality TV, it's a genre of television programming that it has unscripted situations and actual occurrences, and this is in the beginning ones, should we often say. And it features an unknown cast, like a bunch of nobodies that are normally coming together for the first time and just meeting each other, and then they're forced into a specific situation. Each reality TV show has a different situation that they come into, but they all have that same kind of just general overview of that. So that is pretty much the overview of what a reality TV show is. But we are going to get into some of the specific shows here. So what kind of Van, what kind of reality TV shows did you watch growing up?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I grew up in the Philippines. So pretty much like growing up, my first few years, when I was growing up, like reality TV shows weren't really that big in the Philippines. They actually became bigger like during my last 3-4 years in the Philippines. But like I grew up in soap operas. Like soap operas are like, you know, the water cooler conversation starters in the Philippines. So if you're not watching the soap opera, you're not in the next day pretty much. So but some of the reality TV series that were being shown in the Philippines at that time, there's actually like two kinds. So there are like talent shows wherein and these were aired on the major networks in the Philippines, so like Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel 7, and these reality TV shows are centered on looking for talent for those network television shows. So the talent show is these talent shows like Star Circle Quest or Starstruck and all that, they're basically centered on screening people, whether they can sing, dance, and act. So that way, the network would be able to figure out if they would be in or if they would be out, if they would be able to hire these people or not. So those were like the big reality TV shows in the Philippines. And then there's the American reality TV shows that were being shown on the English premium channel. So like if you're poor, then you don't have cable, then you can see those shows. So, you know, those were like some of the things that I've seen before. The first reality TV show that I've seen was introduced to me by my sister. It's called Joe Millionaire. So I don't know if you guys can remember Joe Millionaire.
I've heard of that
I'm
one
afraid
before.
I'm dating myself with Joe Millionaire. But yeah, Joe Millionaire is basically the story of this guy that they've paid beforehand to basically pretend that he's a millionaire, and then they're going to be bringing in like all of these women who are going to vie for his affections, and then at the end, when he's finally chosen the person that he would want to be with, he's going to do the big reveal that like, hey, I'm not really rich, I'm just like, you know, an ordinary carpenter, and they're going to see how the woman is going to react. So that was like a pretty interesting reality TV show, and then it just kind of like developed. When I left the Philippines, that's when they started franchising different international reality TV shows like Big Brother, MasterChef, The Biggest Loser. So we do have like Filipino versions of that. So we have the Filipino version of American Idol, Filipino version of The Voice, which is called The Voice of the Philippines. So it's a lot. So here in America, yes, American Idol was big in the family that I lived in. You know, and it's because like Filipinos just love to sing. So those were like some of the reality TV shows that I grew up with. Pretty much. So they're all like talent shows, searches for something. And then I remember that one of my cousins, she used to watch a lot of reality TV shows on TLC as well because she wanted to learn how to dress up. So what not to wear and stuff, you know. So it's just like a lot of those things. So what about you, Andrew?
I grew up, as far as I can remember, my mom and my dad would watch, and me especially, would watch The Real World. And there was a few seasons that I watched totally from start to finish that I really got into. Specifically The Real World Austin, because it had like this romance that developed throughout the show. I remember the girl's name was Melissa, and I believe the guy's name was Daniel.
Melissa and Daniel. Okay.
Don't hold me to that, but I believe that because I haven't seen it in forever, but I do remember that, and kind of what happened in that show was whenever like halfway through the season, his mom died. Daniel's mom died, and
for real?
Yes, in
I mean,
real
it's
life.
reality TV, so yeah. Okay.
But in real life, like you could tell it was real. It wasn't scripted. Like it was real. They actually, I think that this is still whenever the majority of that was pretty real. I would say most of it was real and not scripted. At least from what I remember of that season. But anyhow, he went back home to his mom and for his mom's funeral, and he wasn't sure if he was coming back because I mean it's just a reality TV show, and you know he wasn't. And so the whole rest of the season, like Melissa's like, I want to say it's maybe Melinda. I'm thinking Melinda, but I'm just going to say Melinda the rest of the time. So Melinda is just kind of like a wreck because like she really cared for him. She's like calling him and seeing if he's okay and just seeing like how he's doing. And she's just kind of like doesn't know what to do then. And the whole rest of the cast is kind of like trying to console her, and then they're while going about their own business, and then she's trying to get a hold of Danny, and it just for like a few weeks like they don't know whether he's coming back, and then like all the next to last episode of the season, Danny comes back. So it was a really cool ending to the season that he came back, and then for the last episode, they kind of like rekindled their relationship. And I didn't really know what happened after, but I know that by that time, like 2 years later, when they had the Gauntlet Challenge where the real world Austin was on there, they were still together. So. So at least 2 years later, they were still together at that point. So
that's like reality TV.
Yeah, well, most of the time that they don't actually stay together.
Yeah,
like if you see like reality game shows like Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, like they don't really stay together that long. So
or like sometimes The Bachelor, like sometimes it just doesn't work out, or The Bachelorette.
Yep, it doesn't work out. So yeah, those are also some TV shows that are popular today. But me and my mom. We would watch Laguna Beach as well.
Laguna Beach.
I did like that one as well. I can't remember. I think Laguna Beach is the one that's in California.
Yes, it's in California.
Yeah, that was actually where my mom lived, right around there, because she went to Huntington Beach, and Laguna Beach is right in that area. She lived in that area there, so she actually went to both beaches a lot. So she kind of had a connection with that, so she also watched that one. I don't remember many of the characters in that one, but I do remember that it was a pretty cool show as well. It was mainly women.
Yeah, there was Lauren Conrad, Christine Cavallari, which are like, people who are, they're known as like the party girls of Hollywood right now. So
yeah, and then I think, was Lauren Conrad the one that was on The Hills as well, right?
Yes, she was on The Hills with Spencer Pratt and, oh gosh, I forgot the name of that girl.
Oh, yeah. But that one also my mom watched, and I watched as well, that one was very entertaining as well, because MTV had all the ones that I watched.
Yeah, MTV was pretty big with reality TV, and I think it's because like when they premiered The Real World in 1992, they thought like, oh yeah, there's actually a market for for people wanting to watch people doing like unscripted stuff. So they started producing all of these. So MTV has given us Laguna Beach, Jersey Shore, all of these things, The Hills. Yeah, and then 16 and Pregnant, which was actually... We're going to be talking about 16 and Pregnant later on, because it's on one of the sections of our show about, like, how far is too far, pretty much, when it comes to, like, reality TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so those are the ones that I remember watching a ton, is those three were the big ones for me. It's a funny thing is that the majority of everybody else that watched it was only girls, like my aunt and both of my aunts watch it. Both of my mom's sisters would watch it, and that was about it. The three of us and me. So I wasn't a Jersey Shore one. Like I think that was that I just didn't watch it. I don't know why I just didn't watch it. But
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh! I popped a lot of brain cells. Like I was like, okay, I am becoming so dumb watching this show. I'm gonna stop now. Like it was a kind of show. It's kind of like that video, #selfie. Oh my gosh, you would pop a lot of brain cells just watching that show.
You watch it and you quote it all the time on Facebook. If you want to hear somebody
Okay, if you have a roommate who always quotes it every time, yeah, it's going to get stuck in your consciousness, which is, yeah. So
unfortunate, kind of, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, yeah. So if you would like to share to us what's your favorite reality TV show or your favorite reality TV character and why, you can go to our Facebook page at @m.mcr or on our Twitter page at @m on MCR.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I just wanted to give like a quick history of some of the ones that throughout the years have been. Even like reality game shows have been pretty popular as well.
Well, game shows are unscripted, so like technically they count as like reality TV shows.
Yeah, they're in the subgenre of reality game shows. Yeah, is a lot of people put them in. Which obviously would include Family Feud. I don't know how far that dates back, but that's a very long
Family
time.
Feud, yeah. I watch Family Feud whenever I'm at somebody's house, actually.
Yeah, the Newlywed Game was another one. I've watched that a few times as well. I remember, I think on the Game Show Network they have that on there now.
Yeah,
and obviously. In the 90s was whenever the actual, like, the reality TV came to be known as. The Real World was there in the 90s, and then in the early 2000s was Big Brother and Survivor came in, and they got really popular as well.
And they have, like, really big ratings, pretty much, and that's what started, like, the reality TV craze.
Yeah,
and I mean, it still has like its effects up until now. American Idol, which is one of the most famous reality TV shows of all time, it is actually record holder in the Nielsen ratings. It's the only show in the entire history of the Nielsen ratings that have gotten #1 for 8 consecutive seasons. So 8 years, it's been the #1 show on television, which is crazy.
Wow.
Because like it's not scripted or anything, but like it's the #1 show on television.
Yeah. The X Factor is another one. I don't really watch that one, but there's,
The X Factor.
It's the one where they, like, do performances and stuff, and they do the X if they don't like it.
Yes, and there's, like, there's actually an American version and a British version.
Yeah.
So that's also produced by Simon Cowell. When he produced it for the United States, he was hoping that it was going to beat American Idol in the ratings, but I guess it didn't quite do that. I mean, for, like, relatively for the amount of audience that they're getting, like, they're highly rated, but in the realm of reality TV, like, if you can't beat American Idol, it's still kind of like, you're not meeting expectations or something. So
yeah, there are also some like really I've really funny, crazy ones, like America's Got Talent. That's a really fun one. I like.
Yeah, what I like about that show is like it doesn't only look for people who sing or who dance, but it looks for like people who like
anything.
Yeah, do magic, do ventriloquism or something, like a lot of like things that we just kind of like. Like we don't think of it as a talent, but like it's really a talent. Like there was this one of the most controversial things about like what show was that? America's Got Talent. So America's Got Talent has a franchise in Thailand, so it's called Thailand's Got Talent. So there was one episode where this woman shows up and she brought with her a canvas and stuff. And so they were like, okay, so what's going to be your talent? Like, I'm gonna paint. So okay, so you can go ahead and paint. She strips and then pours paint all over her, and then she started painting this canvas with her body, and they just asked her to like stop because like, oh no, that's like and Thailand's Got Talent actually got fined by their equivalent of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, because like you have a woman like becoming nude and painting with her body on national television. So I mean stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's very unpredictable, So that's the nice thing about America's Got Talent.
And that's the fun part about, or what's supposed to be like the major element of reality TV is that it's unscripted and everything is real. There other ones One that I do remember watching with my dad is Hogan's Knows
Heroes?
Best. No, Hogan Knows Best.
Hogan Knows Best.
That was in the mid 2000s to late 2000s. It was with Hulk Hogan. And
Hulk Hogan is our maid's favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
that's crazy. She probably knows about this.
Yeah, and that was my dad's favorite wrestler. So when they made a reality TV show about it, it has his daughter Brooke Hogan in it as well. A lot of it.
Yeah,
that was actually the majority of it was him and his wife's struggle with their daughter of trying to.
Is she like a bridezilla or
no?
What do they struggle with her?
No, he's just a very, very conservative father. So they just kind of clash because she's not conservative. And so they just clash a lot, with how she dresses and different things. It was just, but you could tell some of it was scripted, but some of it wasn't. They were going through very bad marital problems while the show was airing, and you didn't see any of that going on. So they kind of hid that and stuff. But yeah. But that was another one I do remember watching. Dancing with the Stars is another one.
Yes.
Which me and my grandmother, Dorothy, we watched that.
Yeah, and Dancing with the Stars has brought us Julian Hough.
Oh, which is just a great blessing.
She's our crush right now.
Safe Haven, Footloose, Dancing with the Stars, of course.
Yeah, I first watched her on Footloose, and I'm like, she's actually good. She, and I didn't know that she came from Dancing with the Stars. I did not know that she was a professional dancer. I thought she was just another pretty starlet or something. But she has
she's
talent.
Legit.
Yeah,
she's
America's
a country
Got
music singer
Talent
as well.
Yeah, and she's a country music singer too.
Yeah,
so. America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
just saying.
We do. And then there are some really crazy ones that are for the other categories does technically Bridezilla count as a reality TV show?
Yes.
Yeah. That one's a really crazy one.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can kind of see it
There are some that
there are Bridezillas around. Yeah, even here at Moody, especially. Yeah, I don't like it when people say oh my gosh, this is my wedding, so I gotta do everything that I really really like.
My wedding's apparently already planned for me, but
yes, your wedding
anything.
is already planned. Yeah, we don't know who's going. We don't want to say who planned his wedding and stuff, Misty, but yeah. So, yeah, and then there's another reality TV show that my cousins used to watch. Wow, apparently I just saw this on her Facebook page. There are people who's producing sweatshirts that say, "I can't keep calm. I'm a Ferro." Yeah, okay, whatever. So, anyways, there's this reality TV show. I think it's I forgot the name, but basically the premise of the reality TV show is there's these 12 girls who are going to hold on to this $50,000 dress that was designed by Filipino-American designer Monique Louillier. So Louillier is a very famous, fashion designer. So in order for these future brides to get the dress, they have to have their hand on the dress for as long as they can until they're the only ones who's standing, pretty much. So you have 12 women who want to be in a $50,000 Monique Louillier wedding gown, standing for hours and hours, not taking their hands off the gown. That way they could get that gown. I forgot the name of the television show. If one of my cousins are listening, yeah, please fill me in. But it was really crazy. I'm they're women who are their boyfriends and stuff and their fiancés. They bring them water and food, and their hand is just on this dress. And some of them were cracking and just crying. It was pretty sad and kind of weird, to see. But that was really interesting too. Yeah, and then game shows. There are also reality TV game shows like the American Bible Challenge.
Yeah.
But, that's another genre of television programming. But, for a lot of people, they count it as reality. I was wondering, do they also count Jerry Springer, Maury, all those confrontational things?
Yeah, they're all
and
reality
Divorce
TV.
Court, Judge Judy. I think it's also considered as reality TV, right? Yeah, reality TV confessionals, pretty much. So anything with a confessional on it, wherein somebody is being interviewed separately from the footage, and they're basically providing the narration. Yeah, that's a reality TV show.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that my other grandmother hates Jerry Springer,
but your pap loves Jerry Springer.
He'll put it on every now and then. He doesn't love it, but
just a tease bar.
Yeah, and then whenever he's whenever we watch it, I always watch it for Jerry's final thought, because I'm always like, that's actually really deep.
Apparently Jerry has like deep thoughts.
And I'm like, it's like this whole show is like this 50 minutes of being goofball, and then Jerry's final thoughts is like incredibly deep of like, all this goofing around was meant to show you this, and I'm like, wow, that's really
so if you
funny.
if you've been sheltered from your Christian life, or I mean from the secular life by your Christian life, pretty much. So if you haven't heard of Jerry Springer is the kind of show wherein like he brings in people with conflicts, and he tries to mediate with their conflicts, but not until after they've like clawed each other on national television. So like, for example, if you don't know who the father of your baby is, it's like he'll bring the prospective father and the one of the fathers, he'll make a DNA test, and then but they'll battle it out there, call each other names before he releases the DNA test. So or stuff like that. Or for example, if somebody cheated on somebody, then they bring all of the parties in there. It's like this big riot and stuff, and people are just like, Jerry. Yeah, so that's Jerry Springer pretty much in a nutshell. Yeah, so that's also part of like reality TV. So there's actually a lot of things. So there's competition shows, talent shows, talk shows, some game shows are actually like considered as reality TV and stuff. So and the influence of reality TV has become so pervasive. It actually caused a switch in the kind of genres that we play on television. So if you notice, like before the reality TV craze in the early 2000s, the sitcoms back then and the dramas are very tightly scripted. Camera angles were like really polished. Like you're not going to see like really really shaky camera and all that. But then when the reality TV craze came in, all of a sudden you begin having series like The Office, wherein like it's filmed documentary style, camera's very shaky and all that. It's kind of like reminiscent of reality TV. And then you start having drama series like Modern Family is technically a comedy, but like this even happens at the BBC, where with Sherlock sometimes has like shaky camera movement and stuff, and so it has a very big influence not only in American television but also on world television. And now that these reality TV series are being franchised all over the world now has an opportunity to see what kind of culture we are propagating here in America, and they're starting to adapt that in their own culture. So it's a very big movement in terms of like programming. From a producer's point of view, it's actually cheaper to produce a reality TV series because you're not paying big name stars. You're just paying like nobodies who wanted like 15 minutes of their fame, or wanted 15 minutes of fame, by the way. And they're inexpensive to produce. I mean, you can be like shoddy with your production values, and then like you can make a lot with advertising money. So that's why a lot of television networks have switched to reality TV as their method of programming. And Fox has been very good with producing a lot of reality TV shows. So Fox has given us American Idol, ABC has given us Dancing with the Stars, and MTV has given us everything pretty much. So yeah, and the Emmy has actually the Emmy Awards, which is the Academy Awards of television. They've actually recognized the contributions of reality TV by opening up another category, which is Best Reality TV Program. So, which American Idol has not won that much actually. Survivor has always won Best Reality TV Show, which is kind of weird. Yeah, but it happens. So
yeah, and so. That's most of the ones that I can remember, but I should technically this is a reality, not a reality TV show, but it's a reality show. It's in the category of reality, and we should mention this because it's somebody that is important for you that likes this show.
For me?
Desperate Housewives is technically a reality show.
It is technically a reality show.
Razvan, if you're listening, it's technically a reality show.
And the interesting thing about reality TV shows is that the plot lines are, I mean, they're kind of similar to what we go through like on everyday life, like, okay, groceries or something, or how am I going to get out of like this trouble or something, kind of like with Duck Dynasty. They deal with like, whatever happens in their lives, like, running a business, cooking dinner, having grandkids over and all that. But they do it in such a way wherein like these mundane things become very interesting. Yes. Kind of thing, yeah. So, which is, and that's what life is. Life is very interesting. It may seem mundane to us because we always do it every now and then, but like when somebody else sees it, it becomes really interesting because it may or may not be something that they've been used to doing all their lives. So, like for example, like with the Real Housewives of Orange County, there is one episode in that show wherein one of the housewives threw a party for her 2-year-old daughter. And this party, super big party, so she invited all of her friends. So all of her friends were at her daughter's birthday party, and they had like all of these like, rose-colored table napkins and like golden spoons and stuff, like just really, really lavish. And then like on one side of the party, there's like the kid who has the actual birthday party, and she's not appreciating it. She was just like asleep, pretty much. So I mean, for us, like that's a view for us of like how the rich actually live. I mean, it's the plot line is very simple. Oh, she's planning a party, she's throwing a party, but we get to see how do they do it when you have like money and bling and stuff, and a rich husband. So Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my mom watched that show all the time too. And the big one that we're not mentioning, that we haven't mentioned yet, is Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's another like brain cell losing show, but it's very popular. Like I know Missy loves watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
So does Beth too.
Yeah, when we got back, I mean when we went to Pennsylvania for spring break, Misty was talking about like like the latest with Kim Kardashian and all that. I'm like, how did you know all about this? Like, I guess she follows him on Instagram and on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, again, if you've been sheltered from the secular life by your Christian life, Keeping Up the Kardashians is the story of the Kardashian family and the Jenner family. So the Kardashians are made up of their matriarch Kris Jenner, who used to be Kris Kardashian. She was married to Robert Kardashian, who was an attorney, an Armenian attorney, and they had like kids. Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, who's like the baby mama for Kanye West, and who's her other sister? Kourtney. And their names all start with a K, so I don't know. Yeah, and then the show also includes Kris Jenner's now ex-husband, Bruce Jenner, who happens to be an Olympic medalist for athletics. And their 2 kids, who are Brody and I forgot the name of the other kid. So Brody Jenner and the girl who looks like a really pretty model. So so it basically chronicles the lives of the Kardashians and how they go about. No, or basically Kim, because Kim is usually like
she's the model technically.
Yeah, she's the model. No, not Kim. No, Brody has a full sister.
Yeah, but Kim's technically the model.
Yeah, but Kim is technically the model, yeah. And it chronicles their lives. So, like, going shopping, or like, for example, in Kim's case, like, when she got married to Luke Humphries, and then they broke it off after like 72 hours. Her wedding was actually a special on their show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians on E! The family is getting paid $15 million a year to appear on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's interesting. That's like comparable to Ashton Kutcher's pay, pretty much, for 2.5 Men. Yeah. So and like Duck Dynasty, the Duck Dynasty folks are getting paid $300,000 per episode. So I mean, not that they really need the money, but they get paid.
Yeah.
$300,000 an episode at a time where television stars are getting paid like $300,000 to $325,000 an episode, and that's like regular pay if your show is doing pretty well. So
so that says it's doing pretty well.
Yeah. So
also, I should mention one that my mom watches called Miami Ink. It's the one about the tattoo shop down in Miami. It's, I want to say, probably the number 1 rated tattoo parlor. And I mean, if you go to it, you're obviously going to spend a ton of money, but it's the best tattoo place in the country. So all you moody people who want to get Greek things and
or like the face of Jesus on your belly or something like that. Yeah, you can get it at Miami Ink.
Yeah. I'm sure Jeremy Carlberg would know where it's at.
Yeah, because he's from Florida.
Yeah.
So
I actually think from that area.
And then they also do this for food. So when I was down in Tennessee, one of the reality TV shows that we watch, apart from Duck Dynasty, is Restaurant Impossible on the Food Network. So this is like this super buff, like restaurant like critic and owner who goes around the country and turns around like restaurants that are about to close. So this one episode that I watched, this is a Mexican restaurant. And the Mexican restaurant is about to go bankrupt. So he goes into this Mexican restaurant, samples the food, kind of like looks at the atmosphere of the restaurant, sees how it is, see how it goes like in the kitchen and all that. So he takes into consideration basically like the all the aspects of the business. And then he critiques the owner about that. So like, oh, your store doesn't look beautiful or something, or the food is crap and all that. And he helps him out with each one of those. So he teaches them how to cook. He redecorates the restaurant. He fixes any problems that happens like with staff. So for example, if the chef and the boss don't agree and they're having a lot of fights and it's affecting the quality of the food, he steps in and mends a relationship. And then he reopens a restaurant, and then he checks up on them again after 6 months to see how the restaurant is doing after its change. So that's another very good reality TV show actually, because like he's interviewing people and they're actually providing their feedback as it happens. So that's another hallmark of reality TV confessionals. The feedback is provided by the people who are appearing in the reality TV show, like presently, like on time, like right there and then. They shoot it and stuff. So that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Yes, Andrew.
It is amazing.
What are you? Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the ones the big ones. If there's any ones that we missed or any ones that you guys watch, let us know and we'll talk about it. Yeah. I'm sure I probably maybe missed one or two that are fairly well known. If you guys like to watch them, just let us know.
Yes, you can let us know.
On our Facebook page, you go ahead, take over that one because
so you can go to our Facebook page at theletterm.mcr, or you can go to our Twitter handle at theletterm on MCR. Yes, it's reality TV night only here on The Letter M. So we've talked about our favorite reality TV shows like American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, Real World, Laguna Beach, and all that. So if you want to share to us, what's your favorite reality TV show or favorite reality TV character, if you have one, like Simon Cowell, Paul Abdul, or something, you can let us know on our Facebook page at theletterm.mcr or on our Twitter page at theletterm on MCR.
Woo!
Yeah. So what?
Letter M.
Letter M. Okay. So Andrew.
So Vaughn.
Yeah.
That's where it ends.
Yeah. So we've been talking about like what are like our favorite reality TV shows. What are the things that we like about them? What are some of the things that's different from like programming and stuff? So what else do we have, basically?
Okay. Wait, say that again. It just went
in
one and a half.
Yeah, no. What else do we have? Like what are I know we have talked like about a lot of things pretty much. What else do we have to talk about?
Yeah. Sorry, no official no official Moody story tonight. So there's no Moody story.
It's not yet late to send in your Moody story.
Yeah, not too late. If you still send one in, we will still do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely not too late. So, but we're going to continue on with our reality TV show night, and then if you guys want to send something in, we'll just give advice on it.
Yes.
So, but we're going to continue on with our show. I guess since we talked about the reality TV shows, like which ones we watched and what are some of the big ones and historical wise and some of the game show ones, and out of all those ones, what would you consider your favorite one of all of them that you've ever watched? You can go ahead and go first.
Reality TV show, like my most favorite out of all of them?
Yeah, out of all of them, just
even the
it is big.
Okay, for like game shows, I loved Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's because like I always get the answer right. So
that was a fun show.
Yeah. Although like when they get to like the $1 million questions, yeah, of course they make sure like you can't really answer the question, so they'd ask something weird. So for like game shows, yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? There was another one, The Weakest Link, but I thought that was like a really mean show, so I didn't like it.
I just didn't like the show because it wasn't that fun. Like,
yeah, it's like you're the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't. And she was mean. Like the British lady was so mean. Yeah, the Filipino version of the Weakest Link, like he was pretty charming, but like
the woman had a British accent, you said, so it couldn't be all that bad.
No, she was pretty mean.
She might have been mean, but she has a cool accent, so.
Yeah, so like for game shows, yeah, it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. For talent shows, I actually like The Voice. Yeah, I like The Voice actually for
Well, that's all because of That's all because of, Blake Shelton.
Yeah, I love the concept of The Voice. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is something I would never have thought of that, actually, that kind of concept, So I love The Voice, although I haven't been really following it, but I love the concept of The Voice.
We watched it a few times when we were at home in Pennsylvania.
And the singers, actually, the singers on The Voice are much better than the singers on American Idol. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Just saying. And then
a lot of them are professionals too, I noticed.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them are professionals. More
Paula,
so than Paula, who didn't get chosen. She's produced like 2 albums, and then
the gospel singer that got picked up by Blake Shelton.
Yeah, the weird thing is like a lot of people there have like sung at churches, and then they get in. So I don't know if it's like divine intervention or something.
It's probably because of Blake Shelton.
It's because of Blake Shelton.
I could have told you that Blake Shelton was going to pick him up just because.
Yeah.
But anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah, and then another one for competition is So You Think You Can Dance. I don't know if So You Think You Can Dance is still like on air.
I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't think.
Yeah. It's on BBC One right now, I guess. Yeah. So. At least the UK TV series, and then the United States series. Oh, it's still on Fox.
Oh, is it?
Actually, yeah. It's already on for like 10 seasons. So yeah, that's another good thing because like you just kind of like see a lot of people who think that they can dance and they really can't. So it's kind of I feel bad saying this, but like it's kind of funny to watch that. But whatever. Yeah. So You Think You Can Dance. In terms of like those confrontational like TV shows, like Jerry Springer, Divorce Court or something, I actually enjoyed watching like People's Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was back in Minnesota and I was like, after having lunch, I was, I'm just like sitting in my, in my bed, just waiting for the food to settle before I go up hiking. I would watch People's Court. And it's really amazing to see like, these petty cases that people usually like, go to court with, like, oh my gosh, like she didn't pay my apartment and she's like the landlord or something. So they bring in like all these evidence and the judges are always so mean. Yeah, so... Yeah, People's Court is... Yeah. So those are like some of my favorite reality TV shows. What about you, Andrew?
Okay. Well, that's a tough one. There's so many that we watched growing up and so many that are cool now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I've been thinking about this. I'm still gonna have to go with the Real World with especially specifically zoning in on that season of Real World Austin. Still, there's just something about that show that's like every time I watch another reality TV show, I'm ultimately comparing it to the Real World. So I think that's when you know that it's your favorite reality TV show.
Yeah.
So, it's just like the concept of that. I think is for me. My favorite concept of all the reality TV shows of how they're like brought in and nobody knows each other prior to this, and they're all just put into this one house together, and they live together for an entire I think it's an entire summer or entire year, maybe I can't remember.
It's kind of like a Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the shows now, reality TV shows. Kind of plan like that and have that specific. The Real World was the one that started that though, and then the Road Rules was a spin-off of that.
Yeah,
and then a lot of the other ones, Laguna Beach, The Hills, all kind of had that same type of Although the Hills, they didn't live together, I don't think.
Yeah,
but
no, they did not.
But yeah, they all have kind of that same typical kind of story now because of the Real World, and I just think that makes for an intriguing story. So it was just it just makes for exciting for me. So yeah, that was the Real World's probably my favorite.
Yeah, and since we mentioned Big Brother, in the Philippines, like a lot of our current television stars are actually products of the Filipino Big Brother franchise. So they went into the house, people like their personalities, and then all of a sudden, they're like movie and TV stars. It's crazy. Yeah. And unfortunately, some of them are already our politicians. So yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't like it, but
Actually, the funny thing is that one of their I just remembered this because I'm a big in our household's a big professional wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And so we watch all of the wrestling shows, WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown. Well, Monday Night Raw had on it one night. They brought in all these celebrity guest hosts for like a year, like they did that straight.
Yeah.
And the one they brought in was Snooki. From from Jersey Shore.
Oh my god!
It was whenever Jersey Shore was extremely popular too, so they brought her in.
Yeah, whatever happened to that show? I thought that show was like renewed for like a few seasons or something, and then I guess like even people on the actual Jersey Shore, like they're ashamed of like being like associated with the TV series Jersey Shore. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I guess they ended on December 20, 2012. So
yeah, I thought that that's true. I guess I haven't heard about it in a while, so yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, so like I don't know. We're going to look up like whatever happened to them, pretty much. But yeah, it's kind of like weird.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I actually, it's just kind of funny, but I looked everywhere to try to find the Real World Austin, and I can't even find it on Amazon. Like, I just can't find it. I don't.
What about on YouTube?
Yeah, they only have like excerpts. And stuff. Like they don't have the actual show on there. So that's kind of sad.
Huh.
I wish I was able to somehow rewatch those.
Wow. Yeah. So, with like reality TV shows, what are like some of the themes that we can find in these shows?
Okay. There are a lot of themes. First of all, like I like this is kind of like a very broad one, but it's a very very telling one, as I was saying this earlier, going back to kind of like what I said, like what I watched as the reality TV shows, is that these people are all don't know each other and are brought together, and you see that in the first episode, like they're all coming from, I think the Real World Austin, everybody was coming from their different parts, and I remember the next season after that, I think it was a Real World Miami, and there was a kid from Texas in there, and he was wearing a cowboy hat and just had this southern accent, and he just sounded like a hick, and like he just kind of stood out among everybody, and so it was just it was fun, but the theme there is like knowing how. This is, I don't know if you can technically call this a specific actual theme, but it's definitely something you can pick up on, is that these people are all brought together and you get to see how they interact with people that they don't know and new people. It's kind of like coming to college, sort of, in a way. So that's one that I pick up on. That was the first that I think of whenever I think of like the reality TV. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think reality TV also banks on extreme emotions. That's like one of the big themes that I see with all reality TV shows. Like they always have to excise a certain amount of extreme emotions. It could be like anger, it could be so much joy, it could be like, so much frustration or something. So, like, for example, with reality TV shows that are competition based, so like American Idol, The Voice, and all that. So they make you identify with the people who are involved in these reality TV shows. So they show you like their backstory, and then they do interviews and stuff, and they say like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna make my dreams come true," and and stuff like that. And so it's for you to sympathize. So it's trying to get so much sympathy out of you that you're going to be moved to vote for these people to stay in the competition. Or for example, when you go to like say Jerry Springer or Maury, it always banks on like the anger and like just the hatred people feel for each other, that they're willing to duke it out on national television. So like they're all like fighting, and like they don't really care, they don't give a D, so
yeah.
Stuff like that. Or, for example, with, like, Jersey Shore, like, Apathy. Yes, whoever thought that Apathy could look this exciting? Like, seriously, So, reality TV shows always bank on, like, the extreme emotions of people for the sake of entertainment, pretty much. So that's, like, one big theme that I see with reality TV shows. Mm-hmm.
Yes, agreed. That's also one that wow, yeah. You always see in them is that especially the later ones in the real world, where they would like go out to a party at like a club or something, and then like one would kind of be into a girl, and then she would be dancing with a guy, and they get into this big brawl, and it'd just be this big mess, and then for like 3 days they'd be fighting on screen and stuff, and it's just like this big back and forth battle. Or this one girl who was she was technically bipolar, and she would just go into all these fits of rage and stuff, and she actually ended up getting sent home because of how violent she was. I can't remember what season that one was, but they actually had the producers of the show on. They actually had to come on to talk to her and to send her home. So that was that's definitely a very true one. That's probably what people I would say what the stereotype is of reality TV shows now. And technically a theme going along with that is sort of the irony of this, and the sort of oxymoron that it is the level of unrealism that it has to it now.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Yeah, because now they're all like, they're all slightly scripted now.
Yeah, but because like you can tell, like Duck Dynasty is totally scripted. Like I can definitely say that there's many times if you just like sit there and look and be like, okay, I definitely wouldn't do that here. Like I definitely wouldn't react that way in a situation. So yeah, it's just the fact of a little bit of unrealism. It definitely doesn't hurt, but
sometimes the situations are very extreme. So like for example, wait, what? I have to choose. There's like a lot of things that where like situations have become so extreme that you're like, really? Did this really happen in real life? Yes, Kim Kardashian's wedding on Keeping Up with the Kardashian. So it's like this big so E paid this family like $3 million for them to to gain the exclusive television rights for this wedding, right? So they spared no expense for this wedding, pretty much. So only for this wedding to like fizzle after like 72 days, of course. But who puts up that big of a wedding during the recession? I think for me that was just like kind of excessive, and it was so funny because like after Kim Kardashian and Luke Humphries broke up after like 72 days, Saturday Night Live released its like parody video of the trailer for the wedding scene in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it's so funny. I think I am going to look for the link for that, and I'm going to post it on our Facebook page, so that way you guys can like get a kick out of it. So yeah, but I think there's like the thing about that. And another thing that I find about reality TV shows that kind of like tie in together is a lot of the people here, since they did not have any exposure with fame or anything, anything talent related before, they're basically famous for being famous. So, like, for example, the Kardashians or something, I mean, let's face it, these people, they can't act, even if they have to, like, do something, or whatever. They can't act out of, like, out of a paper bag or something, whatever the expression is, like, but they're famous for appearing as themselves and just, like, living their lives, so they don't really need to have, like, any semblance of, like, talent or something, or any achievement. They just have to be themselves. So, and then another example would be Duck Dynasty, the Robertsons. So the Robertsons don't need to pretend who they are. They just need to be, like, their redneck selves, and everything. They love guns, girls and God and all that, and they're famous. Everyone's known and stuff, and it's actually nice that the Robertsons have used this kind of, like, platform to let people know about their faith. So that's the one upside for, like, the famous for being famous. But that's another thing that I see with reality TV shows. It's provided a venue for people to be famous for being famous. So yeah.
Woo! Yeah. So, with that in mind, do you want to be on a reality TV show?
Well, I mean, I am on a reality TV show. Yeah. There's actually, okay, so this is like a sidetrack, so just for all of you guys to know.
This is for his, like, just, like, self, what do you call it? Self,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm doing, like, a lot of different things right now. So I'm looking for, like, the video where, SNL parodied, like, the Kardashian wedding. So we will be posting it on our Facebook page, and you will see that, because I'm pretty sure you guys, like, follow all of the the posts that we have on our all of our posts on our Facebook page. There's actually one on the divorce. Yes, it's the Kim Kardashian divorce kit. Here, I'm going to be looking for, like, when we go on a break. I'm going to be looking for, like, a better copy of the divorce kit. But what was I going to say again? I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So, believe it or not, there's actually an illness. Yes, there is an illness that is out there, wherein people actually begin to think that their lives are a big reality TV show.
Oh, I think that's me.
What's going to be the title of your reality TV show?
Oh, I can't say.
Yeah, and it's called the Truman Syndrome. Yeah, so the Truman Syndrome is a syndrome. So syndrome meaning it's just a collection of symptoms, pretty much. And the Truman Syndrome is a mental illness where somebody believes that he is in a reality TV show, and that, like, cameras are, like, hidden all over and stuff, and that, like, all of the people in his life are actually, like, characters in whatever reality TV show that they're in. So it is a type of persecutory or grandiose delusion, pretty much. So, so if you have a friend who thinks that he's on a reality TV show when he is not, yes, this person probably has the Truman Show syndrome or the Truman Syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, like, a real thing, actually. Yeah, I think you need help.
What can I do?
Yeah, and actually in the United States, there has been over 40 recorded instances of people suffering from the Truman Syndrome.
41 now.
40. Yeah, so it is actually pretty interesting. Because, like, for example, so I'm going to be reading, like, some anecdotes on people who have had the Truman Syndrome, and I don't know if this is something that we can link to, like, the reality TV phenomenon, but certainly it's something that we can, like, consider when we talk about reality TV. So, for example, there are, like, dozens of individuals, so primarily white men between 25 and 34. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, you have to watch yourself, especially when you turn 25. Okay, so there is one patient that they've had, of course, whose name is going to remain unnamed because of, like, confidentiality issues. So there's a patient that traveled to New York City after September 11 to make sure that the 2001 terrorist attacks were not a plot twist in his personal Truman Show. So, oh my gosh, that is so interesting. And then there's another one. So this is another post 9/11 thing. Another patient traveled to a downtown Manhattan federal building to seek asylum from his own show. So he thinks that he's in a show, and he doesn't like what's happening on 9/11, so he wanted to put himself on asylum from the show. So that's pretty interesting.
What?
Yes. And then there's another patient that they have. Another patient has worked as an intern on a reality TV program, which is of course going to remain unnamed. And he believed that he was secretly being tracked by cameras, even at the polls on election day in 2004. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And then he so believed that he's in a reality TV show. And I guess he hated President Bush because he called President Bush as a Judas. Pretty much. And then another case of like the Truman Show syndrome is there's an upper middle class army veteran who wanted to climb the Statue of Liberty in the belief that doing so would release him from the show. Whatever reality TV show he's in, that he believes in, that he's in. And like, wow, that's interesting. So yeah, if you find people who believe that they are in a reality TV show, beware, they're possibly mentally ill. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was just like a sidetrack kind of thing. So, what? Oh my gosh.
All right. So, you had a question earlier for us.
Yeah, what is the question?
How far is too far for a reality show?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
how
give
far...
an example of what you mean by that.
Okay, how far is too far on a reality TV show? So there's actually there's a lot of examples of this. For example, 16 and Pregnant. I've never seen the show. But a lot of people have described what the show is, and 16 and Pregnant is actually a reality TV show chronicling the lives of these teen girls who got themselves pregnant, and it's basically counting down to the day in which where they're going to be when they're going to be born. So again, it's an MTV staple, and it's already on its 4th season on MTV, and basically, this show has a very good premise because it shows you like what are the hardships of teen pregnancy, and all of that. And there was a big backlash on this show, because like the thing is, it's you don't show teenagers becoming pregnant and then like dealing with it on television. It's just something that you just don't show. So there was a big backlash on a lot of people who watch MTV. A lot of people have called it as like, oh my gosh, that's like, you're basically like glorifying like teen pregnancy and stuff, or but there was like a big backlash. Like a lot of people just didn't like the content. Although after the reality TV show has actually premiered, in the 18 months following its debut, there was a 5.7% reduction in teen births. Actually, so I don't know if like the reality TV show kind of like contributed to that. When people see like, oh my gosh, it's actually hard being pregnant. They just kind of like backed off out of it. And then there's another reality. So that's like that's one of those things. What are the things that we that we basically tackle in reality TV shows? So do we tackle things as sensitive as pregnancy, or there was another reality TV show, which I think right now that reality TV show is like already out. It's called The Pickup Artist. So The Pickup Artist is very unabashed in its treatment of its contestants. So the Pickup Artist was aired, I think it was aired on VH1. It's a premium. No, it's not a premium channel. It's actually UHF, so you can actually watch it on your TV without subscribing to cable. The Pickup Artist is hosted by Mystery. So that's his name. So like he has an actual name, but like that's his name, Mystery. So Mystery basically picks like 12, and these are his words. These are not my words. These are his words. He picks 12 lovable losers. So these are like guys who've never been on dates and stuff, and he teaches them how to how to pick up girls. Pretty much. So I mean, from a guy's point of view, I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But like from a lot of women, they find it offensive. Like oh, okay, so we're just like conquests to conquer or something. So that's what So that's another thing.
They're
like
not?
No, they are not, Andrew. They are not. So that's like another thing that that we also
guys
have to
take notes.
Oh my god. That's another thing.
You're learning truth on the letter M tonight.
Oh gosh. And then there's another series called Skins. This is also from MTV. So this was actually a spin-off of the UK version of Skins, but Skins has been like it's been highly controversial because Skins is about I'm just like trying to weigh my words that way. This is something that we can air in the future and stuff. But basically, Skins feature like all of these teenagers, and these the teenagers that they feature on Skins are people who engage in sexual activities. Pretty much, that's why it's called Skins, because they bear skins. You know, you can kind of like get that. It's kind of dry. It's kind of British and stuff. So the thing is like, okay, so if these are like adult kids, if these are like adult people, it would be fine. But you're dealing with like teenagers here who are like, you know, just talking about their sex lives, and you know, some of them actually kind of like, you know, get undressed or something. And a lot of people have attacked this show, and people like companies have actually withdrawn advertising from MTV because of Skins, because a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, it's child pornography and all that. So MTV actually did not renew the show for a second season. But like just that, again, another question: how far is too far? You know, with reality TV. There's another reality TV show about adoption. Actually, I already forgot I'm going to be looking up the show, but if you guys have been in the adoption process, or if you know somebody who's in the adoption process, it is a very hard process to undergo, because like, I mean, you don't only choose your kid, of course, but you also have to make sure that everything is everything is in its proper order, paperwork is fine, and then for some close adoptions, you know, you have to make sure that they are not going to be like the details of the adoption aren't going to be available for other people to know. And yet there are reality TV shows like Adoption Diaries by WeTV or anything that actually shows people like, oh yeah, this is what I experienced when I adopted my baby right now, who's sitting with me and who probably doesn't know that she's adopted, you know. So I mean kind of stuff like that. Like, how much family drama or how much like family crap are you going to put out there for the sake of reality television? So how far is too far?
Yeah, and even like even one more example. There's one out now on USA Network. Mm-hmm. It's called like Keeping Up with the Christies or something like that, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And the first episode, it shows the dad how like he's like very overprotective. They're like very rich.
Yeah.
And the dad is like. This is like him. Like, he has a GPS sent to his phone that he knows where all of his kids are at every moment of the day.
Creepy. Yeah, okay.
And he keeps tabs on all of his kids' computer activity too.
Yeah.
And he caught his son on porn. And what he did
on the GPS?
No, on his computer. He has it sent there. And you know what he did? He went into his son's room, took the laptop, and chucked it into the pool, and said, "I'll buy you a new one next week." So,
well, I mean, if he buys him a new one next week, then he'll just download porn and
yeah. But I mean, I guess the thing is that he embarrassed him on network TV, so maybe you'll learn your lesson.
That guy is going to be like scarred for life, and like, you know, his video is going to be replayed over and over again on YouTube, Hulu,
and
Netflix.
Again, that begs the question: how far is too far with that? And that's something that, I mean, every person, I'm not going to sit here and lay out, like, how far is too far for everybody. I don't believe that's right.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, I was watching that at my best friend Sarah's house. I was watching it with her mom while she was gone. And we were just like, all right, this is just ridiculous. So she turned it off after it. And, like, yeah, like that's kind of really. If I was on that TV show, that'd be really embarrassing and really like. I wouldn't like it. Like, not even embarrassing in a good way, in a bad way. It's like, That's too much. Like that's that's not anybody's business. But
yeah.
The few people that you want to tell about that. So, I mean, it's just those shows that like for instance, 16 and Pregnant. I actually really like that show, and I watched a few episodes of that. And like I couldn't watch it because it was so depressing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did really tell. It was very honest, and it's telling of like when you become pregnant at that age, like what are the heartaches of living that of having a baby that young, because you're just well, I mean, like 100 years ago that was nothing to be 16 and pregnant.
Yeah.
But I mean, and now like we're not even out of high school, so like we can't just like drop out and work in a factory because we don't do that anymore in America. So
yeah.
It's just the heartache that comes with that, and I mean I've seen that in my life because in my school there was a handful of students that were pregnant in junior high and early high school. So
yeah,
and
we'll be just wrapping up with like two other controversial shows because like we're running out of time. So okay, so another show that's really like controversial is like Toddlers and Tiaras. So you have like all of these like small girls from like ages 2 to ages like 6 who are joining in like beauty pageants, and they're being dressed up as like adults. So evening gown, swimsuit, and all that. So again, how far is too far? Are you going to make sure that your kid goes to these lengths to project like an image of beauty that is not something that we should be promoting to our kids? So again, how far is too far? And of course, our I think you would like this show. So this is another like super extreme, and I think a lot of like especially pastoral major students would be able to relate to this. Sister Wives. So Sister Wives is the story of this Mormon guy who, we know
I heard that one. I've heard about this one.
Yeah, so he's married to like 4 women, and all of these women like live with him, and they're all like living in harmony with each other. Again, how far is too far? I mean, would you be able to use a reality TV as a platform for you to show your beliefs and all that? So again, how far is too far? And here at the letter M, we're not going to define how far is too far. We're just giving you examples of like the things that we need to be asking ourselves, and the reality TV shows that actually exemplify them. So again, how far is too far? So you can go to our Facebook page or our Twitter page to let us know. So, but here are just some things that we would like you to think about, basically, when we're thinking about reality TV shows. So, wow, we're about to wrap up. So, Andrew, if let's say, for example, when we're talking to somebody about Christ, and then topic of reality TV show comes up, I mean, totally like, wow, this is like reality TV. So, so like, how do we like, I don't know, I guess kind of like connect that.
Yeah, and the big thing, and I heard this statement over the weekend, and it's so ring true, is like each micro story is a story of the macro story, which is the story of God and His redemption. So, I think that's even true here for reality TV shows. Similar to what I said earlier, is a major theme. Yeah. A topic that could be brought up is community and how we live in community with each other, because that's a major theme in all of these shows. That would be one that I would bring up. Is the community there is similar to the way that the Bible wants us to live in community together as believers. So. Is there anything that you had in mind you could think of?
I think for us Christians, like when we watch reality TV shows, it's very easy for us to judge and condescend on the people who appear in reality TV shows. Yeah. Like we're like, what the is he doing? Stuff like that. So sometimes we're very surprised with the kinds of lifestyles that people on reality TV shows are, and I'm kind of like guilty on that. Like for example, with the Kardashians, like. Why are you spending all these money for this? And like, nobody doesn't even appreciate it. So like, there's an element of judgment and condescending that we usually have when we're watching reality TV shows. And, much better to keep it, within ourselves, pretty much, kind of thing. Because like, whether you like it or not, some people actually live that way. That's their lifestyle. That's their normal. It's not going to help the cause of Christ if you're going to criticize the way that they live. Pretty much. Yeah. So I think as Christians, that's like one of the implications we can have with reality TV shows. I think reality TV shows, we should take them as our peephole pretty much into other people's lives, and through that we can kind of like figure out, okay, how am I going to approach this, like for example, if you're watching like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, Honey Boo Boo likes Mountain Dew pretty much. Yeah. So, if you find like a kid who likes Mountain Dew and he wants to to know about Jesus, give him Mountain Dew and then tell him about Jesus, I mean, things like that. It's very practical, very simple. So wow, we are out of time. So, yeah, but thank you very much for joining us here for Reality TV Night. So, again, our conversation's not yet over. You can still go to our Facebook page or our Twitter page, and we will be responding to you. What's your favorite TV show? Reality TV show, and what's your favorite character? Next week, what are we going to be doing?
Breakup night.
It is breakup night. Again, yes, Adelina's here in the studio. She's like, again, yes. Well, I just recently broke up with somebody, so we have to have a show. So, yes, it's breakup night. So, do you have stories of breaking up, and, like moving on? It's like we want to advise and encourage you during this time where you might be like feeling lonely and helpless because like somebody just broke your heart. And we are going to be playing songs of like breaking up and moving on, because you know what? We have to empower you when you feel hurt and depressed and broken after you break up. So it's breakup night next week. If you have any song requests, just let us know. If you have moody stories, you can let us know on our email at the letter M on mcr@gmail.com. So thank you very much for joining us here at the letter M. We're going to be ending with another Relient K song. Pleading. Boy. Yes, we're on the roll with Relient K tonight. So this is Pleading the Fifth, only here on Moody Campus Radio.
About to do that.
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 Radio.
About to do that.